I just turned 23 years old, which means it's officially been 5 years since I first turned 18. God, I'm old. But it got me thinking, if I could sit down with my 18-year-old self and just have a conversation about money, what would I say? And I've realized I've done pretty well for myself these past couple of years. But I've also made a few mistakes, and I've had to learn the hard way a few too many times than I care to admit. But through mistakes, trial and error, and figuring it out as I go, I think I've gathered some advice that'd be pretty valuable to my younger self. So I'd like to share some tidbits of knowledge that would have saved me lots of time, stress, and dollars. So if you're younger than me, or you're just trying to get your money right, I hope this helps. The first thing you gotta do is get a job, even if it's not glamorous or at all what you wanna be doing. So yeah, first things first, you gotta get a job. Any job. It doesn't matter if you're flipping burgers or pushing carts. The kind of work you're doing isn't the point. The point is that you start working and you start learning. Now, when I was in high school, I landed a job stocking the freezer section at my local Walmart. It was cold, repetitive, and absolutely mind-numbing. But if I had a time machine and I could go back, honestly, I wouldn't change a thing because it taught me so many things that I'm grateful for. For starters, work teaches you how to show up, how to be on time, how to communicate with adults and deal with customers, how to solve problems, and how to stay focused even when you don't really feel like it. And most importantly, it teaches you the real value of a dollar. Like, I remember trying to save up for an Xbox when I was just a kid, and I remember the thing costed about $500. So I started doing the math in my head, and I realized that it would take 50 hours of hauling frozen peas in order to buy the thing. At that moment, money became less abstract. It became real. You start looking at money differently when you can literally see the hours of your life attached to each purchase. It really makes you intentional with how you make and spend your money, and that one lesson is invaluable. Open up a credit card right when you turn 18, and for God's sake, use it responsibly. This should be an easy one for most people. When you turn 18, go out and open up your first credit card. And it's not to go shopping or to splurge on luxury Lego kits or whatever, but just to start building your credit history. I recommend using it like a debit card. Put a few small purchases on it each month, gas, groceries, whatever it is, and then pay it off in full before the due date. That alone will do more for your future than most people care to realize. It teaches you to respect debt at a young age, it enforces good credit habits, and a strong credit score can help you get better rates on loans, like a mortgage, which could quite literally save you hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the earlier you start, the longer your credit history is going to be, which is one of the main factors in determining what your credit score is. So don't wait until you need credit to start working on it. Build it slowly, early, and intentionally, so when it comes time when you need it, you'll already have it prepared. But before we move on, I have to throw one caveat in here. If you go out and you max out your credit cards every month, you miss paying it off, or use it otherwise irresponsibly, it could be absolutely detrimental to your future. Credit cards are a great power, and with great power
comes great responsibility.
So don't f it up. Try out a bunch of things and figure out what you're good at. One of the biggest lies we hear growing up is that you should know exactly what you want to do by the time you graduate high school. You know, go be a doctor, or you should be a lawyer or an engineer or whatever. Well, that's just not how it works for most people. The truth is, you find out what you're good at by trying things. Internships, part-time jobs, side projects, random classes, anything that you find interesting, just give it a go. Maybe you thought you'd be into marketing, but you try coding and you realize you love to build things. Or maybe you start a side hustle and you realize you're better at sales than you ever expected. You won't know what clicks until you try it out. And that's the fun part. You get to go out and explore. I remember starting a drop shipping company when I was still in high school. I failed miserably at it, don't get me wrong, but I remember how much I loved learning about it, setting it up, running ads, the whole shebang. It taught me that I really wanted to have some sort of side business one day. And this whole YouTube thing right here, well, that's me going for it. So if you're enjoying this video so far and you want to help me work on my goals, a like and a comment would go a long way. Open up a Roth IRA, like yesterday. If there's one piece of money advice that I could go back, take my younger self and shake them to make sure they understand, it would be this. Open up a Roth IRA. It is hands down the best investment account on the planet, especially if you're young. Like seriously, it should be the first account you open. How it works is you invest money that you've already paid taxes on, and then all of the growth you can withdraw completely tax-free when you retire. And that might not seem like a big deal right now, but in 30 or 40 years, it's gonna matter. A lot. And the earlier you start, the more time compound interest has to work its magic. Look, here's a graph that shows $1,000 invested at age 18 versus that same $1,000 invested at age 30. It's not even close. And here's something I didn't realize at first, and it's what stopped me from opening this account when I should have. You can pull out your contributions, the money that you put into the account, at any time you want, completely tax and penalty free. So it's not like your money's locked away forever after you put it in. So please, for the love of everything holy, just get started. You don't have to max it out from day one. Just open it, start contributing when you can, and let it grow quietly in the background. Stay out of bad debt. It's just not worth it. If there's a trap out there waiting for young people, it's debt. Credit cards, student loans, car payments, it's so easy to get into, yet so hard to climb out. And I'm not gonna sit here and tell you to never borrow money, but you have to be very clear on why you're doing it and what the payoff is. If you're using a credit card to purchase things that you can't afford, it's no longer a tool anymore. It's a weight. It's a chain holding you down. And interest accumulates on that thing so fast, it's frightening. Same thing with student loans. Don't go tens of thousands of dollars into debt for a degree that you're not even that sure about, to a school that you just chose because your friends are going there. There are cheaper paths out there. Community colleges, in-state schools, online options, all of it can get you to where you want to be for way less money. And then there's car loans, which I just completely don't understand. So I watch a lot of small personal finance content creators here on YouTube, and a lot of them are doing so well with their finances. They have no credit card debt, their student loans are being paid off early, they're saving for retirement, but for some reason, they have a $23,000 car loan at a 7% interest rate and an absolutely terrible explanation for it. Like, are the car salesmen that good at their job, or what is going on here? I totally get that you need a reliable vehicle to get you from point A to point B. And if you drive a lot and need to spend a little more on a car for extra comfort, like totally fine, whatever. But why do we need the loan? Like, if you can't save up and buy it in cash in a timely manner, then you just can't afford the car. I bought a 2011 Toyota Prius for $8,000 and it works great for me. Anyways, that was a long way of saying just don't get a car loan. They're not worth it. And that's what I'd tell my 18-year-old self about money. It's not about getting everything perfect right away. Trust me, I didn't. It's about figuring things out earlier enough so that your future self doesn't have to clean up a giant mess. Learn the basics, stay out of dumb debt, start investing even if it's just a little bit, and try a bunch of different stuff until something sticks. So if you're younger than me right now, I hope this gives you a little bit of a head start. And if you're not, well, hey, it's better late than never. But if this helped you out, please consider dropping a like, maybe even a comment, or send this to somebody you know that just turned 18 and still thinks money grows on trees. But that's everything I got for you guys today. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.